well. Well, well, well. Well, well, well. Well, well, well. Well, 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 well. Well, 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 well. Well,
Well, shit. That's funny. What's up? AWO Air Order. What's up, guys? Hope you're having a good Sunday. Having a fine Sunday. Good Sunday. Welcome to AWO Detracts episode what 6? Yeah, 6, right? Episode yeah, 6. Okay, yeah. This is the 6th episode. I should know that. I entitled it. But yeah, this is the 6th episode of AWO Detracts, where I detract YouTubers on their disastrous stupid takes. Dumb takes. Okay? Before we get into this one, we're gonna make sure to like, share, subscribe, comment below, do all that. Please, you know the drill. We're gonna get into this. We're gonna take a newcomer to the AWO Detracts weekly episodic Sunday show. A newcomer, Shawn work. But here's TJ. Say hello to TJ. Oh, TJ's in the chat. You know what? I'll invite people in, I'll invite TJ in. Blind is always allowed in. Had fun blinded the other day. Yesterday. The stream, Tony's stream of blinded was kind of fun. See if blinded pops in the stream. Okay. I need to do so. Look. Okay, so let's get on with this. I'm gonna get on with the video. Okay. I'm not gonna start with the video. Okay, but I'm gonna tell you about the video. So yeah, Shawn work. This video is Shawn work about his review of Superman. Spider-Man. It has over 20,000 views. 20,000 views, about 2,000 likes, and a lot of comments. Okay, I'll show you the video. I'll bring it up. I think I got rid of it by accident. But I'm going to bring it up. And I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding about that. Okay, so here's the video. I'll show you right now. 2,000 views, 2,000 likes, over 1,400 comments, over 24,000 views. This is not bullshit. I just showed you that's true. And that's a lot for him because his other videos get like 100 views. Okay? Get like 100 views. So he really hit it with this video. He's really making off with this video. Now this video is only 23 minutes long, shorter than the Jester Bell video, the Grace Randolph video. But yeah, so now I got a preview of some stuff he says in one of my group chats. There's two members that commented here. Are in that chat, so they know. You know what he has said. That was really stupid and dumb. Blinded is seeing it. I don't know if Blinded is coming in. I sent an invitation. Hasn't really said anything. I don't know. Like Red, I wanted to invite you in, but you haven't really seen the movie, so you may not know exactly what he's talking about, or what I'm talking about. But TJ, where are you? If you want to come in, TJ, let you. Okay, well, definitely Blinded. because he's seen it. So let's get rid of this banner. Like I said, it's only 23 minutes, so not long at all. Okay, and I'll let you all know, my StreamYard is up in 2 days. My free StreamYard is up in 2 days. Okay, I'm going back to restream. Let's get it. So I got rid of the banner. Yeah, he does. He does. Okay, so 23 minutes. And okay.
We are back.
Okay,
And I've
okay.
seen James Gunn's
Okay,
Superman.
so you
And
can
I'm
hear
just
it,
going to
guys.
throw my thoughts out here. First of all, this is not, no matter what they're doing with the marketing, with crypto, this is not
Okay. Name me one live action movie. I want getting in. Okay.
a kid's movie. It's not. Lois Lane says asshole several times in the film.
Okay, okay. 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 Guys in the chat, name me one last comic book movie that is not cartoon. Spider-Verse doesn't count. It's not cartoonish. Okay. That doesn't have swearing in it. Any kind of swear word. Okay. You want to know something? Okay. Every Marvel movie. Every Marvel movie. Every Marvel movie. Kids go see it. Swear words. Every DC movie. Swear words. Okay.
Superman says shit multiple times during the film, and Mr. Terrific says in a scene where he gets to a control panel and they're like, "Can you shut it down?" And he goes, goddamn Mr. Terrific."
What? I'm goddamn Mr. Terrific. That's the point you're trying to make. That's so damn fucking stupid. You obviously haven't read comics. You obviously haven't read comics, bro, in a long time. Superman has sworn in the comics. Every character swears in the comics. Okay? You haven't read comics, man. Goddamn is considered since when is it considered a swear word?
None of it was needed. And then the thing that kind of upset me the most was when Supergirl shows up at the end and she's drunk and she blasts through the side wall of the Fortress of Solitude, makes a big hole, and she's drunk, and then she's reunited with Crypto and
She
all that
says
kind of
bitch.
stuff. And then she goes to Superman, who's sitting there with one of the Superman robots.
I think
on her way out the hole she created, instead of going through the door, she goes, "Later, bitch."
okay. Fuck. Again, you don't know this Supergirl is based off Woman Tomorrow, and people love Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. Okay, the title is called Supergirl, but the characterization of Supergirl is based off the Woman of Tomorrow graphic novel, and she's like this in the graphic novel. Okay, she's like this in the graphic novel. You probably don't the reason why I don't think you understand. One of the reasons why I don't think you understand Gunn's direction is because I don't think you understand where he gets the interpretation of his version of the characters from. Okay, you read fucking Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. You understand where the characterization of Kara Zor-El, Supergirl's from. Okay, not your ideal, not where your Supergirl, where his Supergirl's from, because most of the people that read the comics know what Kara Zor-El, know that Supergirl is from Woman Tomorrow. I don't think you haven't read the comics. That's clear. So you don't know, you don't understand. Okay, even if you haven't read the comics, ask people where why is Supergirl acting like that, and people will tell you why, because that's the Kara Zor-El from Woman of Tomorrow. The Tom King, oh, by the way, who is working with James Gunn, okay, wrote that. Wrote that story, wrote that arc. Okay? And you haven't heard but read, guys, I'm sure all of you read comics at one time. All of you at least read one comic. They swear all the time in comics. Okay? In fact, when I go to the comic book store now, and back when I started going back again, people buying the comics are adults. Mostly adults. Okay? And when I went back, when I took my hiatus, before my hiatus, it was mostly, you never read anything. It was mostly adults. Okay? Even Superman comics, mostly adults were buying it. Kids are not really buying comics. So comic book movies are not really target audience for kids. Yeah, Superman is a little bit more lighthearted tone, but Superman comic book movies are not really meant for kids. There's a reason why they're PG-13. They're really meant for older kids. People that are older than kids that are probably like 10 and older, okay? 10 and older. They're not really meant for kids under 10 years old. They're okay? And the shit that comic books, I don't know if I had a child, I don't know if I want my kid to read a comic book. Okay? A comic book. Because the comic books are very, very graphic compared to live action. Okay? Much more graphic. Swearing. They swear all the time in Marvel movies. All the time. Every single Marvel movie. They swear in Spider-Man. They fucking swear in Spider-Man. They swear in Spider-Man. Spider-Man's like the ultimate kid superhero. But they swear in Spider-Man. Oh, it's okay, TJ. Next time. They swear in Spider-Man. Okay? Spider-Man is more kid-friendly than Superman. Sorry. Come on. Stop doing that. You need to stop swearing. Think of the children. Yeah, he went extremely dark in the pocket dimension. Yeah. Like, they swear all the time. I mean, come on. Marvel swear all the time. They just never really said the F word until Guardians 3. Guardians 3 was the first time they said the F word. Okay? Comic books are not generally for young kids. Movies are not generally for young kids. Their target audience is actually older kids, PG and teens. Okay? Not for young kids. Young kids should not be looking at comic book movies. Okay? They should be watching cartoons or things like that. Not comic book movies. Older kids, maybe 9, 10, 11-year-olds, 12-year-olds, yeah. But younger kids under a certain age, if they're in grade 1, grade 2, should not be watching comic book movies. I'm sorry. They're swearing in it, okay? They're swearing in it, sorry. And most of the time, kids learn swearing Yeah, you let your kids watch family friendly to make the boys invisible. Okay, okay, man, you are you sound like a wuss. Okay, okay. The market for kids, because all comic book, because kids still see it. All comic book movies are marketed for kids, man. I mean, Deadpool Wolverine was fucking rated R. Guess what? They have Funko Pops and action figures. And kids went to see that movie. Okay? Okay? Kids, Funko Pops, okay? They had things marketed for Deadpool and Wolverine that's meant for kids and children, okay? That movie is fucking rated R. Rated R. My god. Can we stop with this? Can we stop with this? Seriously. When are we such why are you such why are you pacification here, man? Yeah, more flawed, but it's brighter. DC, yeah, yeah. Marvel has more flawed heroes, but it's brighter. Yeah, agreed. Like, what? Seriously. Man, when I saw Logan, there was kids seeing Logan.
Like for me, I don't know like why like
Because people when people are frustrated and angry, we tend to let our emotions get the best of us, and we tend to swear. Okay, okay, that's why. Okay,
none of the foul language was needed throughout the film, and this is one of the things that made me nervous because if you've seen Suicide Squad
okay, okay, okay.
and you've seen Peacemaker, you understand that James Gunn has like a fourth grade mentality with his
Oh,
writing.
oh my God, fourth grade mentality of his writing. Okay, Suicide Squad. You're dealing with villains. Villains. Harley Quinn. Dead. Not Bloodsport. You're dealing with villains. You don't think villains are gonna fucking swear? What the fuck, man? Oh my god. Fourth grade mentality. What?
He loves fart jokes and dick jokes and shit jokes.
I don't think you under. I don't think. Watch your mouth. What? No, watch your mouth. Dick joke fat. Okay. Peacemaker is an immature idiot. Okay, he's an immature idiot. Okay, idiot. And by the way, in this movie, I don't remember any fart jokes all that much. I don't remember any dick jokes. Okay, okay, okay.
And he literally brought that to Superman. Now the movie has a
No,
PG.
there was, guys. There was no fucking dick jokes and fart jokes. I don't remember any dick jokes in Superman. Okay, Peacemaker, Peacemaker season one. That's just Peacemaker being an idiot, believing everything he reads. Okay, okay. Peacemaker is an immature idiot. Suicide Squad, they're villains. They're villains. What do you think? They're not going to swear and be stupid, and juvenile? Stop using bad words. I can't, Red. I have to. I have to, buddy. You know the George Carlin rule, right? Juvenile. Um, Captain America. Captain America is perceived very very similar, like Superman, a Boy Scout, right? Boy Scout. Captain America seems Boy Scout, right? Very similar like Boy Scout, right? Kind of in that vein, right? Does he say? Does he say? Oh yeah, that is a nice ass. Captain America swore. I mean, he does say bad language, but it's like language. But he does swear. Captain America does swear. In Endgame, he did swear, didn't he? Read a freaking comic book. They swear all the time. Superman has sworn in comic books. Okay?
13 rating. So yeah, but if you're bringing an 8-year-old and a 10-year-old to see this movie, or a 7-year-old, and you're like, oh man, Superman, and that's where all the marketing is. That's where they're trying to sell the toys to, is little kids, because
Oh, okay.
the dog, because the dog's so cute.
Okay. Look, he could counter his point, and I'll counter his point back. So my point is, okay, Fantastic Four is coming up in about a week and a half. They're marketing for kids too. They have toys, Funkos, and other things marketing for kids too. And they're gonna probably swear in that movie. In fact, I think they did swear in one of the trailers or the clips. I think they're gonna swear in that movie, right? They're gonna swear in that movie, I guarantee you, because Marvel always does that. He's gonna say, "Yeah, but you know what? Superman should be held to a higher standard." And I'm like, okay, if that's the case, since Spider-Man be held to a higher standard too, then to a higher standard, the same standard as Superman, because of the audience and it attracts. But Spider-Man's been in non-Spider-Man films where they swear. Okay, what happens if Superman ends up in a film with another character that's not Superman related? What if he ends up with a film with Batman? Or Batman? I don't know. Come on, like we got another film coming up from Marvel, and they're gonna swear. But yeah, you're gonna say, yeah, but Fantastic Four doesn't have the same higher standard to Superman. Superman is meant for children and kids and all of that. Yeah, but you know what? 6, 7, 8-year-old, 9-year-olds are gonna see a Fantastic Four. Okay. DC characters swear all the time. Okay, like don't give me that shit. Don't give me this. Don't give me that shit. That Superman should be held to a higher standard. Okay. Everybody swears. Every hero swears. Every villain swears. It's normal. Some people are just better at controlling it, and some people aren't. Okay. And Supergirl, on the other hand, read freaking Woman of Tomorrow. You'll understand Supergirl. Okay. Oh, we probably. Okay. Kids still see Batman. Yeah, exactly. Kids still see Batman. Kids still see Batman. You think Batman '89 is meant for kids? Batman '89 is meant for kids. Batman '89 is not meant for kids. Kids. Okay? Batman's 90 Batman Returns is not meant for kids, okay? Okay? Like the Batman is not meant for kids. That's okay? They always swear, man. You ever been in a fight before? Or been angry or frustrated? And because I have, and I'm sure most people have, and sometimes you say things that come out of your mouth that you don't normally say, and that's swearing. With, with Supergirl, when she says bitch, she's just immature party girl, like from her, as her anchor, from her Woman Tomorrow, Supergirl Woman Tomorrow counterpart.
Not cool for kids.
Not cool for kids.
Kids. I'm sorry. The original Christopher Reeve Superman. Have to curse.
Bro. I love that movie. But we're in a different time period. Okay, we're in a different time period. Okay, okay, that original Superman movie is almost 50 years ago. Okay, times have changed. A lot of okay. Yeah. Oh, just meme him. Okay. He didn't.
Brandon Routh, Superman. They didn't curse. Even as dark as Henry Cavill's Superman was, they didn't curse. And so I don't understand the need for it. And this is coming from the same guy that bragged during Guardians of the Galaxy 3 that he was the first person to ever drop an F-bomb in an MCU film. And he took pride in that. Like, why would you take pride in that? Because if you played the scene exactly the same in Guardians of the Galaxy 3 and took out the F-bomb, it wouldn't change the scene. You still would have got the laugh. You still would have thought it was funny that she couldn't open the door because she didn't know how to press the button.
Man, you are such a pussy. Sorry. I said that word. You are a pussy. Okay? The thug's cursed. Of course. Yeah, so you know what was a big deal why he said the F word in Guardians 3? It's not because the scene is in, because it was the first Marvel movie to use the F word. And 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 Peter Quill was frustrated with that part of the Guardians 3 when Nebula couldn't open up the door. And he was frustrated. He's getting things on his nerves. Sometimes when I get annoyed, I do say the F word. I do say the F word. Okay? I do say the F word. It just comes out.
On the door because she wasn't around and didn't know how cars worked.
You don't need swear words in anything, really. You know, instead of ass, you can say but. Instead of shit, you can say oh shoot. You could for these swear words, you could find different words to use. It just doesn't have the same impact. Saying oh shoot, saying but doesn't have the same impact as saying a swear word. Okay, because when we're saying a swear word is a sign of frustration, annoyance, and things like that in certain scenes. Shut up, Red. Okay, you shut up. Okay, you say, "Oh, right?" Like, come on. What are you gonna say instead of bitch? She's a female dog, or he's a female dog. Like, it doesn't have the same impact as swearing. Impact matters too. Impact of a word matters. Okay. Yeah, the Guardians usually. Yeah, I bet you Lobo's gonna swear a lot in Supergirl. He's gonna swear a lot, and this guy's gonna have a problem with that. This guy's probably gonna have a problem with Lobo swearing a lot in Supergirl. Supergirl. Probably not knowing Lobo's character. Okay? Okay? He's probably the only thing he's probably watched Superman Rise is probably like the Christopher Reeves and Brandon Routh. Like, but clearly hasn't read the comics. Probably doesn't know much about some of his other characters. Okay? He's gonna have. What happened to Guy Gardner? Guy Gardner is not allowed to swear? Guy Gardner's not allowed to swear? Guy Gardner's an asshole, a jerk, he's smug. You don't think somebody like that's gonna swear? Superman did really, really well in the US box office, that's correct. Like, Guy Gardner is gonna swear, okay? Like, Guy Gardner is the type to swear. Just the way he speaks, the way he is. That's the guy who's gonna swear, okay? A lot. Are you gonna have a problem with the Lantern Show? Because the Lantern Show is going way to mature, man. That's not PG-13. Have you got a problem with that? Okay. if you're gonna attack this, if you're gonna attack Superman and push Superman a higher standard than all the other DC and Marvel movies, then that's not fair. That's not fair. That's not fair. Oh, Bumblebee, stop lucubrating man. That's not fair. Okay, that's not fair on the other characters in DC and Marvel. That's not fair because kids see that all those movies too. Okay. 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 Gotta get in space on. Okay.
The hashtag super shit was a thing on social media where that upset Superman, that instead of being called Superman, he was being called hashtag super shit. The space monkeys.
Of course it upsets Superman. Why do you think it upsets Superman? Superman needs to be liked. Superman wants to be liked. He cares about being liked. Of course it upset him. Okay? Okay? He's trying to be an inspiration to the world for humanity. You think somebody like that does not want to be liked? Come on. Come on, of course it would upset him. Have you gone to fucking social media too, man? Seriously. Superman, I said it so many times in the past streams and videos. Superman needs to be liked. Wants to be liked. So things like that will upset him, okay? Okay? Come on, man. Understand Superman. Understand Clark Kent. Okay? Yeah. Come on, man. Social media could be a very harmful thing, man. Social media could be a very harmful thing. As we see in the modern world, it could change the perspectives. It can manipulate people's thinking, all right? So if you got a lot of people, he's a farmer from Kansas. If you got a lot of people hashtagging super shit or the monkey scene, whatever, if you got like, it can make people change their mind, view their mind of Superman, right? Look at look at the modern world, the world we live in. Okay, okay, okay. Back when Christopher Reeve was around, when his Superman, they didn't have computers. You know what they used to write back then? I don't know, a typewriter. Okay, okay. Of course, it'll upset him. It'll upset him. His whole goal is to inspire the world to do good for the world, and have people believe in him, right? And he needs that. Superman needs validation. Okay, he needs validation. Okay. Yeah, the monkeys is a great choice. Less boring than Chinese bot farms with PCs and phones. Superman needs validation. Okay, lies, and false and fake news, fake allegations, fake whatever, can really harm someone. Lex is a mad scientist. Not just that, it really could harm an image of someone, and that's the point of this. That's the point of social media in this film because it's remnants of what goes on in real life. If you can't understand that, then I don't think you understand Superman. Why he's compelled to be liked. Okay. Even by Lex Luthor, man. He wants to be liked by Lex Luthor. Well, he doesn't want to be liked by Lex Luthor, but he wants Lex Luthor to understand him, and maybe it's Lex's rage, his anger, his jealousy will subside over time, where Lex is not this vengeful mad scientist, mad businessman, and we finally respect Superman. Like that's what he's trying to do, okay? 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 Like Superman has been described cocky as sometimes, arrogant sometimes, because of things like that, needing to be liked, desperate to be liked, right? Look at Spider-Man. Spider-Man gets frustrated, gets pissed off, gets a little angry with the Daily Bugle, writing false news, false reports, false articles about him, right? That actually pisses him off, right? That pisses him off, doesn't it? And Spider-Man's a kid's movie. Okay?
Or interdimensional monkeys that are all on social media typing away at giant, massive walls of consoles, trashing Superman online as bots. It was real. It wasn't a rumor. Everything that said was a leak or a rumor. It's all true. Everything. Superman never won anything. Okay, he didn't win any battles. He got beat up for 90% of the film. Every time he was in a jam, he would.
He won. What are you talking about? He didn't win any battles. Have you seen the ending of the movie? Have you watched the ending of the movie? Have you watched the ending of the movie? Okay. He won the battle at the end. Okay. Okay. He managed to fight off Lex Luthor to the engineer in Ultraman / Bizarro. Lex Luthor was exposed as the one behind the war in Borvia and the other place, right? And Lex Luthor got arrested. He did win in the end, and his reputation, his rep was restored in front of the people believing him in again. That he was not here to sent to Earth to be colonized, take over Earth, right? Right? I think you need to watch the ending again. He did win that battle. Yeah, he had help with JSA taking part of not JSA, the Justice Gang, whatever you want to call them, in the war part of the side, Borvia and the other country. But he did win in the end because defeated Lex, and his rep was restored in front of the eyes of the world. After Lex made it his goal to ruin his reputation. Ruin his reputation. Okay? So he did win in the end. And yeah, I mean, so I'm making a bigger video of himself. Yeah, you gotta tell me, man. Okay? He sounds like a mental patient here, man. Like,
whistle, and Crypto would save the day. Literally. He didn't do it himself. He wasn't strong enough to hold Metamorpho's baby up during the pixelated lava scene. Take him, Crypto, get him, Crypto.
yeah, because it takes time. It takes time for him to fully heal, even on the path of recovery. Dude, don't wish any upon him. I don't wish this upon anybody to be being sick or anything like that. Nobody. Not even my people at Detracts. But if we were to be sick, okay? When you're really sick, and then you get good news that you're on the path of recovery. You don't recover in 2 minutes. That you don't recover quickly in 2 minutes. It takes time to recover. That scene shows that when Metamorpho created a son, fake son, doesn't it takes still takes time for Superman to fully heal. Okay, it's even okay in real life when you're path of recovery. It doesn't take a day or two or hours to heal fully. Okay. There are so many curse words in this movie. What am I supposed to say to my daughter? Tell my daughter, don't see a Marvel movie. How about don't see a Marvel movie? There. Don't take your daughter to see a Marvel movie. If that's the case, don't take your daughter to see a Marvel movie. Okay? Don't. Did it? Oh, okay. I'll question you guys. Did this guy have a problem seeing Deadpool and Wolverine? Deadpool Wolverine? I don't know what takes on Deadpool Wolverine. Rated R, Marvel movie. Okay? Don't. He has to understand this. Comic book movies are not meant for young kids. They're not really meant for young kids. They're meant for older kids and teenagers and young adults, right? In fact, the demographics came out for who saw majority of this movie. Well, it was men. A majority of people saw this movie as men, but the age range is 18 to 34, in the high 60s to 70s. Okay? Okay? Kids, they adults take kids to wrestling shows all the time. And they swear all the time. Kids, they take kids to AEW. AEW does a lot more violence, a lot more swearing, cursing than WWE. WWE still does that. And WWE tries to market it very around. Tries to market it very around towards kids too at times. I mean, come on, man. Seriously, this is. If you have a problem with cursing in comic book movies, you're a wuss. Don't blame the movie. Just don't see the movie. Just don't take your child to see the movie. Okay? I had to clarify to the panel and chat that when someone says fuck them with the kids, they very highly do not mean literally. Yeah. They very highly do not mean literally. Yeah. Oh yeah. In fact, comic books are not meant for kids either. And comic books they swear all the time. All the time. And no kids don't even buy the comic books. Okay? Kids don't even buy the comic books. Okay? When I went to the comic book store, all adults. There's all adults.
I don't have the strength, because the kryptonite, whatever. But it was this constant thing when he fought the Boravia guy, who ended up being, Ultraman, who ended up being a clone of Superman, which we know from the comic books. But again, and the way they explained it was just like Superman 4, The Quest for Peace with Christopher Reeve. Lex Luthor, Gene Hackman, stole a hair from the museum that they had in Metropolis and cloned Superman, creating Nuclear Man to fight Superman. So James Gunn, if you look at all the movies, Man of Steel, Superman Returns, the Donner films, he literally picked up.
He's one of those parents who believe that entertainment society in general have an obligation to be responsible for his children. As much as he is, it's fucking disgusting. Exactly. They don't. That's why they have ratings. That's why they have ratings now. That's why they have ratings for movies, TV shows, and video games now. Okay? It was playing tribute. Yeah, because James Gunn honors that. It's a homage, Shawn. Yeah, laughing my ass off. Yeah, it's a homage. Like Degrassi and TJ basically say the same thing. It's basically an homage to Okay? It's not up to the studio to force a person to go see a movie. It's up to you as a parent. Okay? Okay? It's up to you. Okay? The only responsibility the studio has to the public is movies rated 18, PG-13, rated G. That's it. That's it. But it's up to you to take your child to see this movie. Okay? Okay? God loves a Christopher Reeves movie. Yeah. He does. He does. And so what if he took a hairspray and it's the same thing like he did Nuclear Man? So what? You want him to take his blood?
Part those movies to make his movie and picked all the parts from those films. And I'm sure a lot of that was also in comic books too, but
I don't think he understands that he's paying respects. He's paying respects and homage to those films. It's not copying. Okay? He's not copying. He's not stealing. He's not plagiarizing those. It's called paying respects. Okay? Directors do it all the time. Okay? He's splitting the atom. Okay? He's a fan of those movies. Okay? 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 First, hypothetically, the more I see this movie, the more it feels like I say a modern superhero movie genre, which of course was with. Hypothetically, you say there's an issue of a Superman comic with the origins of Bizarro. What if that issue, the origins of Bizarro was revealed that was a hair strand from Superman found on the battlefield, and that created, Lex Luthor and his scientists created Bizarro out of that. And this movie, James Gunn uses that from the comic book. Is that copying the comic book? I mean, is that copying the comic book? Because that's exactly the same thing. If you think about it, because there's been comic book incidents where origins of the kid. I mean, no, hey, Batman, the first Batman movie, Dark Knight, is Christopher Nolan and Tim Burton copying the death of Batman's parents from the first issue is shown in? Is that copying? You see the point I'm trying to make here, guys? It's baffling. Yeah, remember Great Art of Steel? Yeah. Okay? It's baffling. If that really is Pierce Brosnan, Dr. Fate on the history of the DC Memorial and Hall of Justice, oh, remember, I did tease about, I don't know, Black Adam coming back. I did tease about that. Okay? But this is ridiculous, man.
It's too obvious that like the creativeness wasn't there.
Okay. I guess Christopher Nolan and Tim Burton putting the Batman's parents' death scene in their movies is not considered stealing from the comic book. I don't know.
It was like someone with ADHD made this movie. It was all over the place. I can see in the editing flaws where it was supposed to be like Pulp Fiction and they were supposed to have like day one or Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then the movie would end. It would be a week in the world of Superman and they were going to have these titles.
Okay, I gotta see this photo. Wish they'd make Dr. Fate with Pierce Brosnan. Let's see this. Yo, what if they introduce Maxima? That'd be hilarious. Introduce Maxima. I'm reading this. Thanks. That's good. Half the criticism is not even valid. Yeah.
And then they scrapped that, brought in a new editor, and re-edited the film. But you can see where those beats were supposed to take place. Superman, I'm going to turn myself in. Next thing you know, it cuts to his face being smashed into the ground by Ultraman and the super police, whatever they were called, Lex Luthor's henchmen, that the government contracted to apprehend Superman.
I mean, that's happened in past TV movies and TV shows before. Um, that's nothing new. There's not even criticism. Pulp Fiction was not linear. Yeah. Okay. Uh, turns himself in. His face is smashed. I mean, that's happened before. I mean, I've seen stuff like that happen before, where the hero or the villain says he's gonna turn himself in, and the next scene you're seeing the handcuffs put on that person. I mean, it's nothing. That's nothing new. I mean, it's nothing new. Okay, you you gotta understand. People. I mean, if you work in the fucking film industry like this guy does, but it clearly doesn't direct on the production side of things. He'll see everything. It doesn't work in like the real world, okay? Oh, the guy gets arrested. You'll see him going up to Big Flag. You won't see that. Oh, him driving his car, flying, and then 2 minutes later he's flying. No, they're gonna fast forward all of that because that's a fucking 2 hour movie, man. It's not a TV show. It's a 2 hour movie. Okay? It's a 2 hour movie, man. In fact, it's actually supposed to be longer than Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four is actually 3 minutes shorter, according to the according to yeah, I think it's 3 minutes shorter, according to my theater. It's literally it's litany of childlike complaints for a movie he can't even get a refund on because he didn't pay to see it anyway. He was so proud about it. It was a virtual signal. Yeah, he is kind of proud.
And it was the movie was dumb. I mean, I think that's the thing, and we can blame the last 30 plus years of reality TV that has just dumbed down society so much that James Gunn had to literally spoon feed dialogue to people.
Reality TV. Reality TV, guys. Reality TV, guys. Reality TV. His reality TV. Reality TV. Okay. Why? Okay. Yes, people love reality TV. I hate reality TV because all of it is scripted. It's made up bullshit. Reality TV, but it's not the reason why. It's not the reason why there's movies like this. And you're okay. That's a stupid reason. Okay. If it dumbs up some people so much, why can't you say why? You should say that for all. You should say that for the other comic book movies. I think you got the CTE from his studio stunt work. Oh my god! Say about the other comic book movies. Has reality TV dumbed down Marvel? I'm not talking about Marvel now. I'm talking about Thanos, Marvel, Infinity War saga. Because, buddy, do you know who worked on? He knew worked on that multiverse saga, not a multiverse, that saga a lot. that made people really, really happy with Infinity War and Endgame? James Gunn, James Gunn, James Gunn, James Gunn, James Gunn, James Gunn, James Gunn. I guess you did. I guess is Sturgis. Okay, what do you think? Reality TV. Reality TV is the reason why people. This is the reason why people's it's all over the place. This movie's all over the place. In your opinion, fucking the comics are annoying. Like really. So okay. Oh, you know what, guys? I'm gonna steal the excuse. Okay, Craven. Craven is such a bad movie. I'm gonna blame reality TV for Craven. Okay, guys. Okay, I'm gonna blame reality TV for Craven. Madam Reb was a bad movie. I'm gonna blame reality TV for Madam Reb. Okay. Make it super. Okay. Can I use that? Can I use that as a valid argument for why those movies are bad because of reality TV? No, because those two movies are really, really bad. They're bad. Okay? Horrible. Was reality TV made us so dumb that Black Panther is a success? Black Panther's a success. All those Avenger movies are a success. So you're blaming reality TV for one of the reasons why this movie is bad? That's a weak ass point. Okay? Okay? That's a weak ass point. That's a weak ass excuse. That's a bullshit excuse. It's good to see 56K here. Oh yeah, I can fucking do something. I was gonna do this today. Membership gifting today. No, a little bit later. Oh my god. Reality TV. Oh. I don't even think Jester Bell would say that. Honestly, I don't even think Jester Bell would say it's because reality TV. I don't think so. Is he retired like me with the resume he tells? How does he have time for YouTube? Maybe he's not getting work because he's shitting on this. The industry generally likes James Gunn, right? The industry likes James Gunn. When you work in industry and he's shitting with somebody they like, it's not in public. It's not exactly a good look, right? I mean, he's not a Snyder Bro. No, he's not. Yeah, he's not a Snyder Bro.
Literally, Lex Luthor instead of or having some other element explain his motivations, he literally goes, well, now that we're here, I guess I've got to look around and find something that can convince the generals that they need to be on my side and they need to hire me to take on Superman. And you're like in filmmaking, I, as an audience member, would rather you show me than tell me. Good writing in screenplays is show me, don't tell me. I hate spoon-feeding dialogue. And that's what every character in this movie did.
Oh my fucking god. Spoon-feeding dialogue? If you didn't have spoon-feeding dialogue for this whole film, you have no fucking dialogue at all. At all. And here's the thing, Shawn. He said that because he needs engineer, Taskmaster, and Ultraman power to do the same thing, find something, right? He can't just do it by himself. He needs to find something too. He needs the others to also find something. He has to say it out loud too, man. So the others can hear. That, right? Right? Like, exposition, yeah. Like, He had three people there: Ultraman, Eve, right, Eva, and an engineer. So he says that line. Well, since I'm here, I gotta find something to convince the generals to do to for me to me for the use me to take to go after Superman. Yeah, he did say I gotta find something, but he really means find something to the whole everybody else is there. Okay, so they can hear it. So they can hear it too. And by the way, when he says I can find something, he's the one going to show it to the. He's the one who's going to show it to the Pentagon. Not Ultraman, not Engineer, not Eva or Eve, whatever. Him. Okay, him. Okay, think. And by the way, most audience members don't think like that. How you think like that? No audience members really thinks about the concept of spoon feeding. Really. Okay? General audiences don't think like that, man. Let you know. General audiences don't think like that. Okay? Okay? They really don't think like that. I don't go in a fucking movie and be like, oh, is he gonna spoon feed us? Are they gonna spoon feed us this? Or are they gonna show? Like, what the fuck? In the movie, when they spoon feed, they show it too. Okay? And you say as an audience member, like, yeah, don't spoon feed us, show us. No, you're not thinking like an audience member. You're kind of thinking like more of a person who works in industry. The problem is, when you work in industry, your viewership of a movie or TV show is different from an audience member. Audience, okay? Because the audience are not the majority of the audience are not experts in the filming industry, so they don't think like that. Okay, they don't think like that. Okay, they just want a good movie, a fun good movie. That's it. Joe listed all the curse words in the Snyder and Shaw something. Like, I'm not sure about that. I'll have to research that myself. What? Yeah, there were swear words in the Snyderverse. The fuck? You know what? Degrassi? If I should be on that panel and say, I'll be like, are you okay with the Thor saying orgies in Thor Love and Thunder? Are you okay with the dick jokes in Ant-Man and the Wasp? Are you okay with them swearing Captain America saying, yeah, that is a nice ass? Okay. My God, people don't go to general audiences don't think about this concept of spoon feeding. Okay, I don't. Okay, it's not like wrestling. I'm a wrestling fan. When a guy cuts a promo, wrestler cuts a promo, and says what they're gonna do and do and do, yeah, they have to show it. They have to show it. Okay, they have to show it because wrestling fans think like that. They have to show it, but even hardcore wrestling fans, but like, yeah, Degrassi. I know Crazy Joe has wild takes, but I like his wild takes, even though I sometimes disagree with him. But he's not a liar. He's right. And he's a cool guy too. He's a good guy. The Crazy Joe. He's a good guy. But like, nobody goes into a movie. Don't tell me. Show me. Okay. Nobody thinks like that.
Whole way through.
They go and see the movie hoping it's good. They don't go in the movie saying, "Whoa!" They don't go in the movie saying, "How this is going to be good? How it's going to be good?" Right? Generalize this. How it's going to be good. They just want to hope it's being good. It's good. Okay? Because in fact, if the way you're describing it, if that's the case, any movie when comic book movies, blockbuster movies, popcorn movies, if people go into movies thinking like that, you're not gonna have a lot of people in the theater. Just saying. Not a lot of people will be in the theater. That's a bad mindset. That's a bad mindset to go in as a viewer, a casual viewer. Just okay. Yeah, Jones about as straight shooter as you'll find in this community. Yeah, they just want a good time. Exactly, just want a good time. Okay.
Was spoon feed everybody exposition. Every line told a story. Um,
Um. Duh.
even this thing
What?
with
Shawn. Hate to break it to you. Every comic movie kind of does that. It's not. It's not. It's not just same. It's not just the same as it. Not just a one-time thing here. Every movie is done that. It's done that. Marvel's done that. Wait until Shawn finally believes the reality that any recasting of Angels is for a hard reboot. No more period piece. A wholly new modern take. Yeah, it's gonna be a fresh take for sure. It's gonna be a fresh take of Indiana Jones. I'm surprised you're going for a hard reboot, but now like thinking about it, I'm not so shocked anymore. And yeah, me too, TC. I had a good time watching Minecraft. It was a bad movie, but it wasn't like bad bad. It was good fun bad. It's one of those movies that's fun bad. Because I laughed at some stuff in that movie. I mean, the story is not good, but I thought some of the jokes and some of the humor was fun. It was a fun bad movie. Okay, okay. I hate to break it to you, Marvel does it all the time. Comic movies do it all the time.
Miss Tessmacher, where she would take selfies all the time, which I was thought that was stupid in the trailers and all that kind of stuff, but it actually has relevance in the film. Every time she took a selfie, there was something in the background that Lois Lane and Jimmy Olsen could put together. Oh, look at that paper clipping behind her. Oh, look at this behind her.
Jack playing Jack Black. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he was. He was. Um, Jack Black carried ammo. My kid, I love Jason Momoa's character. I don't know. I love Jason Momoa's character, Garrison. Okay, I like Jason Momoa's character. I wasn't so sure at first about Jason Momoa in the film because I saw the early pics. I'm like, what the fuck did they do to Jason Momoa? And then I saw him in that movie. I'm like, yeah, this is great. Jason Momoa looks cool. He's great in that character. I'm like, yeah, this guy's gonna make a great Lobo. A great Lobo.
Look at that. There's a map sitting on that table over there where she's taking a selfie. And Miss Tessmacher had strategically, but she's not a smart character in the film. She's the dumbest character there. But she strategically did all this because, she was in an abusive relationship with Lex and wanted to share all
Okay.
these selfies with, because it showed proof of all of the.
Okay. Okay. Is she dumb or is she playing coy? I mean, yeah, I mean, like she's not the smartest, but like you kind of have to be I guess maybe Lex is so caught up his arrogance and his hate that he doesn't notice that if Taskmaster's up to something with these selfies that and she and but to me Taskmaster would know that. It takes a smart person to figure that out. That this guy completely writes me off. Lex Luthor completely writes me off. Doesn't know what I'm doing. Okay, maybe you can say it like that. He likes Jack Black, laughed his ass off at the Minecraft movie. He knows the game from watching his grandson play. I would have never watched Minecraft if not for my dad. Yeah. Like, okay, like, here's the thing. When you know somebody is kind of like not paying attention to you, brushing you off, is so focused, so determined, you could probably get away with more stuff, right? You think this Lex is a deranged clone of real Lex? I don't know. You could get away with stuff, right? You could get away with stuff until finally until there's a trouble. Yeah, she did it out of spite.
The maniacal stuff he was doing behind the scenes. This was the explanation for everything. Was all these selfies, but instead of letting the audience discover that it was the selfies, once the selfies were all laid out, like when they were looking at them, the dialogue was, look, she's taking selfies right next to all these things, and this is telling us exactly where to follow the trail. Like the dialogue was just like that. It was like a Scooby-Doo cartoon.
You mean regular standard general dialogue? I mean, look, okay. Look, she's telling us where to go. Fuck. Do you... My god. You mean general dialogue? General words? What do you want? You want like sophisticated dialogue? What do you want? How can I make this? Look, you see these locations here? You see these backgrounds, these locations? She's leading us. This is a trail. She's leading us exactly in this directions. We must tread carefully. Like, come on. Come on. This is general dialogue, man. General audiences don't fucking care about sophisticated dialogue. They want just regular dialogue. People talk in the real world, okay? And it was Lois Lane. And it was Louise Lane. Louise Lane. You mean Lois, but you spell Lois. Lois. That's actually kind of... Louise Lane. Wait, did he gender band Lois Lane? Yeah, write this word right here. Not gonna... Okay. Let's see if we get some memberships. RJ, Aaron Warrior clips. Yeah, that's those. Yeah, that's one of my YouTube channels I made some time ago. They got a membership. Why? I don't know. Okay. X Santiago and GW Productions. King Louis Lane the Third. Yeah, I made that YouTube channel some time ago. There's nothing on that YouTube channel. Aaron Warrior clips. Whatever. They got membership though. Okay. King Louis Lane the Third. My phone. Yeah.
For fourth graders or for third graders.
For third graders.
It literally was like,
So it is for kids, right? So the movie says for kids. If you say this movie is not for kids, then you say this. Then you say oh, it's literally for fourth graders, third graders. So it is for kids, right? Make up your mind. Is it for kids or not? Seriously, is it for kids? Like, isn't that contradicting? The beginning of this video. I'm like, Jimmy, my brother is ugly. You're in New England. This is Cali. What's your meat? Get it where you fit in. Like, Willie, this guy says, oh yeah, this movie is not for kids, it's swearing in it. And then all of a sudden, yeah, this is written by, Shawn, you said in this, there shouldn't be any swearing in this, right? There shouldn't be any swearing in this. And then he said this movie is written by like a third grader or a fourth grader. So, are you saying kids swear? Are you saying kids swear then? Do you see how stupid that makes you look? I mean, that's a got ya moment. And look at this guy. And you see how bad it makes him look? Oh my god. That
Mask. Oh, it was you, Mr. Baker. That's the type of stuff. And it makes sense when James Gunn wrote the Scooby-Doo movies that he was going to write something so stupid. You know, at least in
the Scooby Doo movies were kind of dark too, man. I mean, the Scooby Doo were kind of for kids too, but Scooby Doo was kind of dark movies. They were kind of dark. Like they were darker than the Superman movie for sure. Okay, and they're actually, you could arguably say they were a little bit darker than. I mean, they're darker than the Suicide Squad movie. Yeah, the Suicide Squad movie had blood, gore, and swearing, but it was a little dark. I mean, the Scooby Doo movies are dark. Okay, they were dark for a kids movie, I would say. Okay, and I could argue that Scooby Doo may not necessarily just been for kids. Okay. Yeah, better not take his kids to Smurfs. All they do is Smurf each other in the Smurf. Papa Smurf says, Smurf this shit. It's fucking Smurf. Smurf it all to hell. The Scooby Doo movies are underrated. I agree.
his Marvel films, whether people believe this or not, at least he had Kevin Feige kind of pulling the strings a little bit as the puppet master to what you can do, what you can't do, this, that, and the other. I mean, he even did ask, Kevin Feige if he could drop the F-bomb in Guardians of the Galaxy, and Kevin Feige, to his detriment, allowed it, which I think.
Actually, Shawn, actually, Kevin Feige, James Gunn is one of the few directors that Kevin Feige had advised on for the overall plan of for the MCU, and he let Gunn do his own stuff too. And okay, he let Gunn do his own stuff. Okay, okay, okay.
Think was a bad move. But I digress. So Superman gets beat up throughout this whole film.
Gunn has his business partner nearly 3 decades, Peter Safran, to keep him in check. Exactly, that too. And eventually David Zaslav, who should get out of this way.
Has those Superman moments, and any Superman moment that you saw, the punching of the guys with the teeth flying out and it hits the camera, which is just weird. It's like breaks the fourth wall. The laser eye spinning around with everybody, which
laser eye. It's not a fucking laser. It's heat vision, you moron. Get it right. You say you're a Superman fan. You wear a Superman shirt, but you call it laser eye. No, Cyclops has laser eyes. The optic blast. Superman has heat vision. Oh my god. It's heat vision. Get it right. Remember, yeah, Guardians 3 because they messed up the story endgame. Yeah, and Gunn wasn't happy with this. It's called heat vision, man. It's not laser eye. Okay? Cyclops has laser eye.
Literally, that is like 3 seconds on film, 4 seconds on film, and it's over.
But that's cool. Yeah, Superman has, for sure. I remember that. I mean, yeah.
If you watch the previews and all the leaked footage that they've done thus far for this movie, you've seen the movie. There was not much left on the bone.
Okay, wait, you said leaked footage and previews. How's that leaked then?
And what you saw in the trailers. Every money shot in the trailer was the highlight of the film. They left nothing there. There was no discovery. They
Fuck. You know who does that a lot too? Marvel. Marvel does that too. Okay? Marvel does that too because Marvel and, well, Superman first too. You have a bunch of trailers, bunch of sneak peeks, release clips. They do that too, man. It's not just Superman. Stop with the bias towards Superman when you know Marvel does the exact same thing. Okay? Marvel is the exact same thing. Stop it. Stop it, man. Okay? And there was no Ultraman mask in those leaks. Exactly. Right, TJ? There's people that are comic book fans, Superman fans, just put together that Ultraman and Hammer Borvian or whatever has kind of similar powers to Superman, and he has a mask. There's people that know comics just put together that he's a clone, and it's bizarro, right? When we heard about Ultraman as possibly in his movie, there was no Justice Gang aboard. Exactly, yeah. We heard about the idea of Ultraman being this movie, and we saw pictures of Ultraman with a mask, and be like, why is Ultraman? And guys, we know Ultraman is from the comics. He's Earth 3 villainous Superman. So, and James Gunn, he's not a different universe Superman, but he still wears a mask. Still, people two together that he's a clone of Superman. Like, okay, that's not a fucking leak. He's in the trailers. But if you pair it all together, we know, like most people know, he's Bizarro. Eventually becomes Bizarro. Yeah, Clark would stumble out of the planet's janitor closet, and Lois would say, "Oh, Clark, Superman just saved the city," and you miss it. Clark looks at you and rings. That'd be awesome. That'd be good. That'd be good. You know what? That's actually smart. That'd be funny. Man, I love this movie so much. I love talking about it. I love making videos on it. That's why I have to do That's why I have to do streams like this. Okay. I have to. I feel like I don't have to, but I feel like I have to.
that it can be described as goofy, juvenile, spoon feeding information.
I mean, Christopher Reeve's Superman was kind of goofy, wasn't it? The Richard Donner Superman was kind of goofy. Yeah, I mean Degrassi. Yeah, I mean look at comic books. In comic books of Degrassi, you know how we read comic books. Everybody here's read comic books. The story that the comic book is based on, especially solo stories, they're always talking to the audience. They're always breaking the fourth wall. All of them break the fucking fourth wall, and they're talking to the audience. It's like they know that there's people reading about them. Okay, TJ. But like, if you read comic books, you know they're talking to the people that are reading them. They're talking to us, right? You know they're talking to us. Like this guy, I don't think this guy has fucking read a comic book. Okay, they've always been talking us breaking the fourth wall in the comic books. Okay. Now they don't. I mean, they're talking to us, but they don't show with their facial, with gestures or anything like that, like Deadpool or like Joker or like She-Hulk would. But they still know that the viewer is reading them, right? Like seriously.
The movie, the problem also with the using the John Williams score, it was peppered in. But here's the thing.
Oh, he's got this score.
They wouldn't use all of it. They would go dun 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 dun, and you'd never get that dun dun dun. That would show up later on in another scene where he's climbing out of a hole, dun dun dun. But time had already passed, so it was never like it was a flowing musical. The score was pretty. how would I say, it was forgettable. The score was forgettable. When you have, and this was my biggest complaint with the Snyder films too, because he used Hans Zimmer.
Yeah, like
When you have an Oscar winning score from John Williams, you use the score. At least Bryan Singer got that right. When he did Superman Returns, he used the score. He did it properly. In the opening credits, he did it properly. With the plane
oh my
scene,
god.
he did it properly throughout the whole film. When Superman's pulling the kryptonite island out of the ground.
Once again, nobody cares. Except you. Nitpicks. Once again, I know you've worked on sets, but and I know you've done stunt work and stuff like that. But I don't know if I'm gonna say this. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if you worked in the creative process, the production of a film, right? Putting the film together, storyboards, getting a composer for a composer, where the themes, where the songs, where the score fits in certain aspects of the movie. Um, Things like that. Like I never have, and I'm never gonna, and I never will. But you worked like nobody really cares really. And the thing is, I don't know if you have or not, but from what I know, that's not your field. That's not your specialty. So I don't know if you're in a fucking writer's room or they're in the writer's room or meetings with all the production people working on the film. I'm sure James Gunn, the director, has a meeting with the composers, the producers, everybody's executive producers on like where we should put what scenes should this score be on. The score should be in. I'm sure they do that. Okay? And they go to the studio or whatever, the music studio, and people Degrassi has a better grasp on this stuff. But I'm like, okay, and yeah, this is perfect. This fits right here. I mean, who cares?
Or out of the water. He used the score properly. He did justice to John Williams. You could have done that here, but they didn't. They chose to go with a lame ass guitar kind of.
Here's the thing. I don't think John Williams cares. I think John Williams is probably happy with it. Um, okay.
Weird synthesizer version of it, and it didn't fly.
I was like, he sounds like how Grace Randolph describes things. Very similar how Grace Randolph describes things. Okay, that's what he sounds like. Honestly, he sounds like how Grace Randolph would describe things. And Grace loved the film. She liked the film. I gotta check my TikTok. Yeah, I have a post on TikTok right now. It's almost close to 11,000 views, and I have another post on TikTok that's almost close to 10,000 views. All Superman related. Yeah, it was patriotic too. Yeah, so I'm getting TikTok views, man, a lot on Superman posts that I make months ago. Shawn does often exhibit the fully dilated pupils of someone experiencing a classic manic bipolar episode, and that's with a light in his face. Crazy. It's a national anthem. Yeah.
It kicked in when Crypto showed up. Every time Superman was in a jam, he would just, and Crypto shows up and he saves the day. He literally saved the day throughout the entire film. So, like, it was really like the Justice Gang was really the focal point of the film. I have to admit,
The Justice Gang was the focus point of the film. Have you watched the same film? What?
he saves the day. He literally
I have to
saves
hear
the
that
day
again.
throughout the entire film. So, like, it was really like the Justice Gang was really the focal point of the film.
No, the Justice Gang was not the focus point of the film. I don't know what you're watching. First of all, Mr. Terrific. You can say Mr. Terrific was not a focus point of the film, but he did got a lot of screen time compared to the other two. But if the Justice Gang was a focus point, was like a focus point of the film, don't you think there'd be a lot more scenes, a lot more character building on the Justice League Gang, especially Hawkgirl? Because everybody agrees, while we love the film, that Hawkgirl was kind of just there. Guy Gardner got his lines in, got to express his how Guy Gardner is an asshole, a jerk, right? Smug. Mr. Terrific got to shine as Mr. Terrific, his personality, but Hawkgirl really wasn't. Hawkgirl got shafted. She got shafted in this film. Let's be honest. She got shafted. So how can you say the Justice Gang was a focal focus point of this film? Yeah, he didn't want to use crypto. Exactly. He had no choice. Okay, I don't get how the Justice Gang was the focal point of the film. Clearly, they weren't. Okay. Yeah, Hawkgirl got no screen time. Yeah. But oh,
I have to admit, Guy Gardner, which I hated throughout all of this stuff. I'm not familiar with the character. He looked terrible with the bowl cut. I warmed up to him as the.
that's Guy Gardner. He has a bowl cut. And he's supposed to be an asshole, a jerk. He's cocky. Let's say that. He is kind of cocky. He is cocky, and he'll be like that in the Lantern show. Okay, and very famously, and most people know him for getting knocked out by Batman in the comics. Okay. Now I don't know what the future of Hawkgirl is. Is she gonna die and be reincarnated? I don't know. I know. Okay. I don't know the future of Hawkgirl. I know she's in Peacemaker.
Movie went on, but it wasn't enough to save the film for me. Every time Mr. Terrific talked, he sounded like the character in Spaceballs who was combing the sand. You know, the "we ain't found shit." Like, that was the character. And in the comic books, Mr. Terrific is just on the same level as far as smarts and tech as Lex Luthor. But the way they played him in this, he was like a 70s Shaft character, and he was comic relief. And he had the most action-packed hero scene, if you will, when he put his dome over his tech over Lois Lane, and he took on all the people in that base camp before the portal thing. He had the best scene in the movie. Superman didn't have any good
I
scene.
don't disagree there. He does have the best scene in the movie. He definitely does have the best scene in the movie. It's very reminiscent of Yonda's scene in Guardians 2. Look, I don't know much about Mr. Terrific from the comics. I read a little bit about him, so I don't know much about Mr. Terrific, but I remember him from the Arrowverse. But that's the Arrowverse version. And it was a young, inexperienced character. Okay? Okay? So I don't know much about Mr. Terrific from the comics, other much. I do know Guy Gardner. I do know Hawkgirl. I I think Nathan Fillion, because Nathan Fillion is a good Guy Gardner, because Nathan Fillion has played assholes and jerks a lot before. So, and Guy Gardner is I assume is an older Guy Gardner. Like Hal Jordan's gonna be older. And I don't know what's the future in store for the Lanterns. But I think Lanterns will be fun. So, alright, Sinestro's in it. I was thinking of free exchange of ideas. If someone brings mashed potatoes to a potluck, you could debate it. I don't know.
He didn't do anything that was epic. And before everybody goes, oh, but he's only in year 3. They explain that he's only been around for 3 years. Metahumans have been around for 300 years. Over the last, they had a whole opening like crawl. It wasn't a crawl, but they had an opening text to explain what the hell you were watching. And it was needed. You needed that. You needed a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. You do kind of. I agree. You do kind of needed that. I do agree there. You kind of needed that because normies didn't watch Creature Commandos, but hardcore fans watched Creature Commandos, and there were metahumans in Creature Commandos, so you kind of needed that. I agree there, 100%. Now I don't know if you need that for Batman, Brave and the Bold, whenever that comes out. I don't know if you can need that for everything, but Superman is the first movie in this universe, so it is kind of needed.
The general audience going into this is going to be completely fucking lost, and you needed that explanation in the beginning to get people caught up to at least where you're at, because you're just dropped right in the middle of the action, which is fine, but every character needed more development in this. I hate long run. This was like 2 hours.
Fantastic Four is shorter. Fantastic Four is actually shorter in this movie. Let you know, Fantastic Four is going to be shorter. And I read the prequel comic of Fantastic Four. So if you're anybody confused about Fantastic Four, about some things, I read the prequel comic. So I'm okay. That came out this week. We tell them to get it off the table because there's no debate to be had. It's
But if what they cut out, the rumors, which I believe the rumors, because every rumor that leaked and every leak that came out about the movie was true. If there were rumors that they cut out 20 minutes, but it was all jokes, thank God, because there was so many jokes in this movie.
No, there wasn't.
It was.
This movie toned down the jokes compared to Guardians and Suicide Squad. They did.
Like James Gunn can't help himself. He can't let a scene breathe and have a dramatic moment without jumping right in. There's this really great scene where Corn Sweat at the end is like, I'm what makes myself human is I cry, I love, I do all this kind of stuff, blah, 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 blah. And then instead of letting that beat breathe and maybe have a little bit of a stare down between him and Lex Luthor or something, Crypto just comes in just like the Hulk did with Loki.
Too many jokes for a Superman film. Christopher Reeve's whole movie was a lot of jokes in that movie. Lois Lane was... we all love the Superman movie, all of us, but Lois Lane in the Christopher Reeves movie was basically messing with him. Teases him. Not this Lois Lane. This
in Avengers and just starts slamming him everywhere, grabs him by the throat and just starts slamming Lex Luthor everywhere. Boom, 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 into this, into that, and his bones are breaking and everything.
What thing I forgot to say in my review? But Superman always had jokes. Superman always had a sense of humor, though. Why can't you... Man, God, if this is, I don't know. But I wish Lex Luthor did get involved in actually in one of his armored suits and fight Superman. Maybe in the future. Maybe in the future. But Superman's always had jokes.
And Crypto's, and then Superman's like, Crypto, stop, Crypto, stop. So you took away this hero moment, which is really like the only hero moment like Corn Sweat has in the film, and you took it away from him. You robbed him.
I mean, I know, Crypto to get a little revenge on Lex for getting kidnapped. He remembers. Crypto remembers. That's all right. That's what I take from it.
All for a joke, all for something we've seen already in another movie, which was better. The original Avengers, better than this film. This movie is awful.
I don't disagree there. I mean, that original Avengers. Okay.
It's not rewatchable. I don't know who the audience after opening weekend and it makes its money. I don't know how this thing's going to have any legs to go.
Lex in a rapper suit in a deleted scene, one arm rep in a deleted scene.
Go forward. And not to mention what they did with Bradley Cooper as Jor-El. They took the, Jor-El and Christopher Reeve Superman was, the scientist, and even in Superman Returns,
the twist,
Marlon Brando's face show up there, or Man of Steel when you've had Russell Crowe. They were scientists begging to leave the planet or warning their planet because the core was, going. And this was the same thing, but when they decrypted the message, because Bradley Cooper they speak in Kryptonian, so he's just like it's like weird, and then what they do is there's a half of a message that in the crash when the ship crashed on Earth, half the message was garbled. So they decrypted the other half of the message, and the
Jor-El thing leaves me questions though.
Conquer Earth, start spreading your seed, and repopulate with Kryptonians, the humans, until you dilute the DNA across the globe, and then Kryptonians take over the planet. So then everyone feared Superman because they
now with that, there's a lot of questions I had in my earlier stream about Supergirl. Supergirl, how did she come to Earth? What's her parents like? The relationship to Jor-El, Zod in the future, like it changes a lot of things. That is, but in the end, Superman makes his choice, right? I really do think in that case, I think Superman should be a little bit more devastated by that. And when I talked to my friend Blinded about that, we compare that to Batman, Robert Pattinson's Batman, when he found out his father potentially paid Falcone to shut up a reporter, and unfortunately the reporter, the reporter got killed, right? And when Bruce Wayne found out, that devastating knowing his father he thought was a good man, a great man, could do this. Okay? I wish really Superman could be a little more devastated than that. Because it's a big thing. No, it works for Batman. It works for Bruce Wayne.
Now they know the rest of this message that Lex Luthor had stolen with the engineer, and they used it to blackmail and make Superman look bad so they could have him arrested. And
Invincible did it. Look, Invincible is kind of little, and the boys too. Invincible is a little inspired by Superman in right, a little bit the opposite.
a blow to Superman because he was raised by humans, and so and oh my God, Ma and Pa Kent, whoo, they portrayed them as toothless trailer park rednecks. It was bad. Like there was nothing stoic about him. I mean, how do you go from Kevin Costner and Diane Lane and even Glenn Ford in the original Christopher Reeve film? How do you go from those people to this? This was just another shucks, let's get a laugh. There was no real information that they provided other than the one line from Pa Kent, you're part of us or whatever, and da, da, da. But it was just two rednecks. It was just two rednecks. It was bad. Like it was, and I would be upset.
What's wrong with them being? Yeah, the Waynes were all involved. And all sorts of corruption in the comics. Thomas only had moments of regret near his death. Yeah. Yeah, what rednecks? Like, that's not. It's.
Portraying people that way, trailer park people that way. But this is James Gunn, and James Gunn, he went to private school. He never saw people like that growing up. He didn't interact with people in trailer parks like that. So he did a stereotypical Deliverance type redneck portrayal of Ma and Pa Kent, and I thought it was terrible. This movie does not have legs. It doesn't. This movie's not going to have legs, and I don't know where it's going, but look, here's the thing. If you like Peacemaker and you like Suicide Squad and you like fourth grade potty humor and you want to hear superheroes curse and all this kind of stuff.
Superheroes always curse, though. I mean, they curse in Marvel all the time. They always cursed.
This is for you. You're gonna absolutely love this. You'll think this is the best thing. I don't think it's rewatchable though. I think the fans of this, they're not gonna revisit this over and over and over again, like maybe a Star Wars film or maybe another superhero film like Avengers Endgame or something where people watch it over and over and over again. This doesn't have that. There's nothing in it to offer. There's nothing on the bone. And Hawk Girl, I gotta go back. Hawk Girl was dumb. The screeching every time she flew.
I did not like the screeching.
Like a hawk.
I agree. The screeching was bad. I did not like the screeching.
It was stupid.
The screeching made me cringe. That made me cringe.
That in the comics. I have to go back, and the way everyone's like, oh, it's so comic book accurate. This is comic book accurate. That's all you hear throughout all the press junkets and everything. But yet, Ma and Pa Kent are just dumb rednecks. You've got Mr. Terrific talking 70s jive. You've got talk about shitting on canon with Jor-El and the reseeding of the world, and you've got to be like Genghis Khan and spread your DNA everywhere all over the planet and repopulate the planet. Like that's breaking none of it. Like
I mean they do change a little bit from the comics. I agree there.
If color palette was your issue, I need the bright colors. That makes me feel hopeful. If that is what you needed to make it feel like it was canon, that the color palette was different, and that made it more hopeful, there was nothing in this movie that screamed hope. Nothing. And Lex Luthor, again, same par as Jesse Eisenberg. Like they both just did something really weird with the character. And again, that goes back to the director.
What? Made him obsessed with Superman? That's what he's based upon? I mean, this is the most obsessed, unhinged Lex Luthor. I mean, I might Lex Luthor at times. Yeah, there's, yeah. I mean, like, look, some Lex Luthors are not as unhinged, but this is the most. I want to say the most comic Lex Luthor, but it's the most obsessed Lex Luthor I've seen. Because it shows how much he loathes and envies Superman in this film. This is more about him hating Superman than anything else.
I just don't think he did a good job. He was one note the whole time. And not to mention, he also shot somebody in the head with a gun. In the scene, in the trailer, he's got the gun. Well, he plays Russian roulette, and he blows a dude's brains out right in front of Superman. That's Superman. The guy that helped Superman out of the hole when he landed in the bricks and everything in the hole in the beginning of the film. He shoots this guy in the head, and then on the front page of the Daily Planet, it says the real hero of the day is this, and his picture's there because Lex Luthor shot him in the head. They didn't give Superman props or anything on the Daily Planet after all the climactic stuff was over. And of course, there were 2 needle drops, 2 songs that were in the movie that felt misplaced. It could have been done really well with score, but James Gunn can't help himself but to put music in his stuff like Guardians of the Galaxy. And yeah, it was corny. This was a corny, stupid, corny version of Superman. And if you love it, good on you. This was a one-off. I'll never watch this movie again. And the DCU is still going to struggle going forward. It's over. And if Fantastic Four flops, we may see superhero films implode altogether. And maybe just maybe we need a pause of like 10 years before we get more superheroes.
That's not happening.
Because that's all they're shoveling to us now is superhero crap. This is awful. The movie was awful. If I have to give it out of 10, 1 to 10, it's like a 2.9, 2.8 maybe out of 10. It's terrible. It's everything I was warning people about throughout this entire process. But if society has been dumbed down, like I feel it has, they will accept this. But this is not. Richard Donner would be rolling over in his grave because of what they're doing in this character. And I even think the original writers, Schuster and all these guys, they would be rolling over in their grave with what James Gunn's doing. So, but fuck it. James Gunn's gonna gun.
I'll say this. But Fantastic Four is actually on pace to make more than Superman. Okay. It's on pace to actually make more than Superman. And I mean, look, I don't think Supergirl and Clayface are going to make anywhere close to Superman. That's for sure. Spider-Man, I mean, Marvel, Sony, whatever. Marvel, Sony is going to kill it next year with the box office. There's no question about it. Spider-Man's a juggernaut. Avengers Doomsday is going to be a juggernaut. I don't know if Avengers Doomsday is going to make as much as Endgame. I doubt it. I don't think it's going to make as much as Endgame. Endgame almost got close to $3 billion, but like $2.7 billion around there. So I don't think it's going to be close to as Endgame levels. So I don't think Marvel Studios and Sony are not worried about next year. 2027, you got Secret Wars and the Batman Part 2. And there's no DC movie from DCU Studios, from the DC world, DCU, next in 2027. But we'll see. Fantastic Four, like I always said I always ran on record saying I think Fantastic Four is gonna do better on box office wise anyways. Because there's a lot more interest in that movie because we know what it's leading to. We know that's leading to Avengers Doomsday. So the trajectory for Fantastic Four, I'm not surprised. Okay. And Fantastic Four, I believe, Comes out very soon, right? The 25th. Oh, I'll let you know. It might be mid. I'll let you all know. Yes, so we know Marvel Studios is not Comic-Con this year. DC is not a Comic-Con. The huge Disney film is Avatar. The thing is, we kind of know we're. No, Fantastic Four is Fantastic Four is July. July 25th. July 25th. They already had their London premiere, the 6th or the 7th. Embargo. The social media embargo is on the late night on the 21st. And then the full review embargo is on the 22nd. And then and Fantastic Four does have all of August, because I don't think there's a major film in August. What's in August? I don't know. But I don't know what to do next week. I got Donkey Kong to play. All right, I gotta go, man. It is slow. It's almost. I gotta sleep. Thank you for watching. Like, share, subscribe, comment below. Bye.
Give me what I want. Give me what I want. You know what I want. Give me what I want, or I'm gonna continue to hurt people you love. Give me what I want. Give me what I want. You know what I want. You just don't want to give it to me. Give it to me. Give me what I want.
We're gonna give you what you want.
That's not what I want.